Hey everyone, this is Michael Schenk. I'm the Director of Engagement for the Carbon Neutral Cities Alliance. Recently, we were in the City of Glasgow. Glasgow is a member of the Carbon Neutral Cities Alliance. And we spent some time talking with city staff, local organizations, people on the ground doing good work to make the City of Glasgow more sustainable. And we wanted to share some of these interviews with you because they're all about hope and inspiration and what's driving this work on the ground. And they're pretty inspiring. So we wanted to share them with you now. So take a look. Join us.
I think the most exciting thing is the very fact that we're engaging with our people on a just transition. Above all else, Glasgow talks the language of social justice, climate justice, and tackling inequalities. Yes, we need to dig our streets and put in district heating. Yes, we need to be mindful of climate adaptation measures. But above all else, when the bulldozers and the hard hats go, social policy goes with it and community engagement too. And that, whilst not unique to Glasgow, is a distinct message from us to ourselves and to the world and alongside other cities. The thing I like most about my job is just the daily discovery of new people, new ideas. Even though at times, of course, it weighs down heavily on your shoulders, curiosity keeps you going. And with that, armed with that, there are so many things still to learn from all around the world, as well as much closer to home. So engaging with local communities in Glasgow, engaging with cities from around the world, equally, they give you that sense of inspiration, of new experience, new ideas, and that eclectic sense of what happens when ideas come together and we start knocking off each other, rubbing shoulders and coming up with new solutions. That's what cities do best, and that's what's really exciting about my job.
It's a real excitement for me that we've now published our Glasgow Green Print, and we're now talking in terms of £30 billion of investment in the city into projects that will completely radicalise and transform the city to become net zero carbon. In such a short space of time, we've gone from looking at small pilot projects to talking about change at an unbelievable scale. So it's thanks to the great leadership that we have nationally in Scotland and locally in Glasgow, and the real belief in the work that we do as officers, that we've brought that together, and we're now looking at that green print as a real delivery for the city. So over the next 9 years, I hope to see such dramatic change in a city. But this is a city that's used to change. This is a city that thrives and flourishes with change. And I know that Glaswegians are going to embrace this and move forward and make the absolute best of it. And come 2030, this will be a better city to live in, a more incredible place to be, and just the Glasgow that you hope to see.
One of the things when we first came here, we thought we wanted to do something about linking building better, building greener, taking better care of the environment, and by doing that you take better care of your own and your community's mental well-being. But how do we express that? This is an extraordinary area. It's the biggest regeneration area in Scotland. What do we do? I looked around, and historically this was smothered in chimney stalks. Just a mile or two away had two of the tallest in the world, 450 feet. At that time, it was pumping out fumes, smoke. It was the birth of climate change. This instance, I wanted to do a chimney inspired by that shape, or a tower inspired by that shape, but instead of smoke, it's this child of hope, this age, gender, race-neutral child reaching out to an exciting, hopeful future. Hope is vital to our very existence. It is our lifeline, if you like, our heartbeat. Without hope, we are in a very, very difficult place. And when all this period of COVID, and we've got the climate change for many, many people, hope is quite elusive. It is unachievable, or they don't believe it's there. And it is really important that we emphasize that. Yes, there are difficulties. Yes, we have to address a lot of things, but the future is exciting. There's lots of reasons to be hopeful, lots of extraordinary work people are doing. And this product here, this project, is over 50 companies have come together working pro bono as a gift. That's what you can do when you come together. You can do so much more. We can as individuals do something, but we can do more as we come together as a group, and we can make a difference. The passion that has gone into this project from all these companies involved, of course, I am passionate about what we're doing, but people have come together because they want to help. They want to share that with other people, so people have this symbol, have something to remind them that there are reasons. People do care, people want to make a difference. People care about their communities, and this is an important symbol to help show that, or help remind people about that.
The most inspirational part of this project part of any project is always the people, and this has been an extraordinary project, meeting just incredible people, whether they are working in mental health, whether working in construction industry and wanting change, whether they're part of the community, doing incredible community work, writers making a difference, filmmakers making a difference. It's just inspirational.
Hi, my name's Roddy Yar. I'm the Executive Lead for Sustainability at the University of Strathclyde. So when we think about why an innovation district, we think about entrepreneurial investment into a city zone, which is the Glasgow City Innovation District. We think about innovation in that space in terms of academic, private and public partnerships coming together to create knowledge, to create new opportunities and to create that kind of innovation space. So my role is to make sure that Glasgow City Innovation District is climate neutral. And what we mean by climate neutral is energy carbon neutral in operation for all of our activities in that space, and also resilient and responding to the changing climate. And putting those two things together, quite simply, we're calling that climate neutral. So think about the energy that's coming from industry in the space, think about the energy that's in the River Clyde, a gigawatt of heat potential available for the city. Those sorts of innovations we're bringing into this innovation district in Glasgow City Centre. So when we're thinking about building political will and the financial kind of will to make this happen in a climate neutral innovation district, what we really think about is making it real for people so that everybody can understand what climate neutral means to them in their space. So for instance, if you're living in this space, as thousands of people do, then you want clean, affordable heat. And we can get that from the River Clyde. The River Clyde has been an industrial driving force for the city in previous years, and it still remains so. But we want to make sure that that driving force actually starts to deliver for climate change and to make affordable homes heated with clean heat from the River Clyde. And we're installing heat pumps to enable that to happen and distributing that heat into the city zone. So that's one example of why we can build some political will. The other example is that we're making sure that what we do responds to the city's agenda around carbon neutral by 2030. So we're very much aligning the work that we're doing and leading at the university to make that happen. And we're also importantly building what we think we need to do into the city's agenda around existing funded plans, such as projects like the Avenues Urban Realm project that's happening in the city. We want to make sure that that's got the district heating element built into that project. So that's how we build that kind of political force, that we can align big projects that can be invested in the city with what the politicians are thinking about in terms of their own political and climate agenda. So within the Climate Neutral Innovation District, we've got a concept called climate corridors. And what we mean by that is we're using High Street and the related streets off High Street to act as conduits to deliver climate services for people. So for example, when we create the avenues or the urban realm features on the streets, all of which is funded by the city, we can enable other services, let's call them, to help people to transition away from less affordable heat into more affordable heat that's clean. So when we do the urban realm piece, we create district heating network using heat from the Clyde, but we also build into that much more climate resilient solutions like much more nature-based solutions, more green walls, green roofs, more tree canopy for shade and shelter in the city. And that's really important because it starts to bring in health and well-being into that agenda. Places for people to sit in mini parklets that maybe have more active travel aligned to those infrastructure interventions. Better cycle paths that are segregated, all as part of that urban realm. So starting to build in more green into that agenda starts to make it more resilient to the changing climate, gives people more access to the services they want, more space to sit and enjoy and to move freely and safely across the city. And all of that is starting to come together within this climate corridor vision.
You know, I've had the great fortune to meet so many people from across the world who've been so impressed by the work that we're doing, so it makes me immensely proud to be in the position that I am and to be able to help people in Glasgow achieve our target of being net zero carbon. So it's great just to have that buy-in from the community, it's great to have that kind of exposure, but ultimately it's just a sense of real pride that the work that we're doing is being recognised and that Glasgow has been seen in such a good way across the world.
Hey everyone, this is Michael Schenk again with the Carbon Neutral Cities Alliance. Hopefully you enjoyed this brief little tour of some of the work happening in the City of Glasgow on the sustainability front. Some pretty incredible work happening on the ground and some pretty incredible people doing that work. So thanks for joining us. We will be touring some of our other members in the Carbon Neutral Cities Alliance soon. Stay tuned.